Hi, welcome to this new video. Today we're going to be covering a lot of aspects regarding the Paint Sculpt workflow. This is just a basic walkthrough. I mean, it's nothing like very too deep because I really want to know if you will be interested in learning more about this. But if you really require a lot of details, you already have the guide that I previously published in this month. So you can check that step by step. Everything is detailed there. And if you have any questions about that, you can ask them right here in the comment sections. Since we want to paint using the sculpt tools, two colors here, and those two colors are represented in a vertex color. I'm going to be selecting icon here, and then I'm going to choose a different color. I'm going to be choosing green. Then I'm going to be drawing over here. And as you can see, the paint is very rough. Even if I press shift, it will smear the area, but it will still have all of these very chunky pieces. So why is this useful? This is kind of a very difficult paint if we're going to have all these smudgy edges, because it's based on the vertex count. As long as you have enough vertices, you will have a smoother paint. See, for example, this is starting to pull the color from this area. So the solution here is to subdivide this mesh even more. But as you can see, this already has a lot of vertices, almost 500,000 right there. Whenever you want to go to shade mode, you're going to encounter this problem. That even though that you have painted your mesh using the paint tool for vertices, you will not be able to display it. Now in the past, we are used to connecting a vertex color property, which is immediately created when you create using Vertex Paint. Remember that? This is the old traditional way of Blender to do Vertex Paint. But now we have Pablo de Barro's new way of painting vertices using Sculpt mode. So whenever you create a vertex color in the traditional way, you're going to get this map over here. But whenever you're working with Sculpt Vertex Color, this also stores color information. In my case, I'm going to be calling this Fixie. Okay, but this could be color paint, just like that. So if you paint, I'm going to be connecting that into the emission. Okay, so in this case, it's color paint. I've just changed the name so you can see it. Shift A, search vertex color. This is how I got that node, this node. And then I connected it directly into the emission. So by logic, we should see the emission color from this paint. So let's go to shaded view, but no, we do not see anything. As a matter of fact, we only see another material up here and another material down here, the floor material, but we don't see anything of her material data at all. So what's going on? We need to first store the Sculpt Vertex color. The first thing you want to do, click there. And the second thing you want to do is to not use this old method, but rather the new attribute method and another node that we have for this new workflow. So what you want to do is to know your Sculpt Vertex color. Shift A, search, attribute. With this node selection active, you're going to click, copy, attribute, paste, enter, color to emission or a principal shader, I don't know, whatever you want. And now if you come here to shaded view, you're going to correctly display all of this. Even if you go to render view, you're going to still be able to see your color. This is how you represent your vertex color into emission. You can come back here, you can continue to color or paint or do whatever you want. Let's say I'm going to paint her leg in a green color. Okay, so it's all of that painted and stuff. And we already spoke why it's important to define facets, because we don't want these things. See, it's very uncomfortable. Now you can go here if you want to take the time, and if you do have the time, you can press shift, you know, to make it smoother. But it's very uncomfortable painting it this way. unless you have a lot of details that you really want to address, by clicking and dragging like I'm doing right now. I don't recommend this method. It takes too much time. What I do recommend, however, is to mask your area or go to edit mode, select the area that you want to paint and transform it into a facet and paint from there. Box mask or lasso mask. So you can, select your thing and mask it out, come to facet and then facet from mask, and it will automatically create a mask. Now you will notice that this area is already darkened, and that is because a mask and a facet are active at the same time. So if you don't want to see the mask, press Alt M to clear out the mask so you can only see the facet. If you want to clear the facet, like we already mentioned, you will come here and then say facet from visible. Or you can come down here to edit facets. If you click there, you also have different options here. You can delete geometry, shrink the facet, grow the facet, fair tangency, which means to smooth, or fair positions, which also means to smooth out these things. Icon, which doesn't really have an icon, but it's under here. Okay, after you activate it, preferences, experimental, Sculpt Vertex tool, this icons will appear. So click on paint, and now let's pick a color. So the second workflow that I want you to pick up from this video is that whenever you click something here, you can either press N, come to tool, and have all of these options available for you to change on the tool, or you can change them up here all the way until options, all the way until this menu. So the workflow is like this. You pick a tool, you come up here, select your settings, your brush, your color, your stroke, your texture, whatever you need. Then you start painting. This is for the paint tool. But for other tools, like the mesh filter tool, for example, if you click it here, you're going to get a different top menu. Please pay attention to this because this is really important. And the second thing that you want to do is to select the mode in which this tool is going to be working. Okay, this is important. And now comes the last very important step on this workflow for certain tools here. Because you can click on the viewport and drag left, or click on the viewport and draw right. And for this special video, I'm going to be activating the cursor so that you can see what the cursor is doing on the screen. Okay, 8 minutes for introductory talk. Let's start working. Alright, thank you very much. This has been Pierre Schiller, and I hope to see you in the next video. As always, every question you have, please type it in the comment section down below, and don't forget to try Blender. Blender is powerful and beyond